Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy K Breezy here. I hope that all of you watching this having an awesome day, because in today's video I'm going to be going over and breaking down what I feel like is the overall best class setup for the FR556 in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And, just going to make sure that the competition does not return from the store when they go out to buy some milk. So if you're excited for the best class setup for this weapon and you're all around, just amazing person, be sure to let me know down below by clicking that like button. And while you're at it, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon, because then you don't have to worry about missing out on some of the latest Call of Duty news or a post from this channel. Real quick though, I'm just going to run through, like the perks and whatnot that I use with this weapon to just make it go off that much more. So with that being said, the first perk that I use is Ghost. That way I don't get flambéed and just boiled whenever the enemy calls in a UAV. I use EOD because claymores are the spawn of the devil, and I use battle hardened because I don't exactly, I'm not a huge fan of getting shot while I'm blinded and whatnot. As far as my specialist, I use dead silence and munitions expert, and really it's just contextual to what the situation is going on at the time. If I'm behind enemy lines, we're going to use dead silence, but if I'm already on one of those longer kill streaks and being silent is not really necessary, I'm probably just going to use munitions expert. That way I have all the ammo and refill my lethals and tacticals as needed. And speaking of lethals and tacticals, my go-to are C4s and stem shots. C4s because I love eating those things on top of people's heads when they're not looking, and stem shots when you get in those 2v1 situations. Now on those smaller maps or those slower paced game modes, I would probably recommend switching the C4 out for a Claymore or Bouncing Betty, but whichever one floats your boat, because I'm just a personal fan of C4s, always have been, probably always will be. Oh, and I could not forget the Deagle. That's my secondary right now, mainly because the 357 is just not hitting the same ever since they updated it and nerfed it. So my go-to is kind of just the Deagle right now, and not just because I'm trying to low-key max the weapon. But with that being said, the first attachment that you want to put on the FR556 is the FR 15.6 inch commando barrel, because it gives a pretty good boost to aim down sight speed and overall movement speed with this weapon. And while you do lose some bullet velocity and recoil control, it's definitely worth it. And with the other attachments that I'm going to be mentioning on this list, it's kind of just going to counterbalance those aforementioned cons that I was just talking about. But the reason I stuck with the more or less basic commando barrel is the fact that I felt like it gave the most noticeable boost in overall aim down sight speed with this weapon when compared to the other two barrels, without taking away any more of my overall movement speed with this weapon. Next up on the attachment list is the stopper grip tape, which adds even more of a buff to the overall aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed of this weapon. And just from the jump, when you get this weapon at a base level, the 5.56 does have one of the slower aim down sight times by default when compared to other weapons in the assault rifle gun category. And because of that, using attachments like the stopper grip tape really just helps it become much more viable of a weapon choice. And overall, this weapon build that I'm going over is trying to minimize the ADS speed of this weapon. That way you can take full advantage of the 1 to sometimes 2 tap burst capabilities of this gun. And I mean, since it's only taking 1, maybe 2 bursts to kill somebody, recoil and aiming stability really isn't going to affect you that much. But like I was saying before, the main attachment that's going to counteract those recoil debuffs and whatnot is the Ranger foregrip. And this grip provides a really chunky buff to your overall aiming stability and recoil control at the cost of some aim strafing speed and ADS speed overall, though it's like nowhere near the amount of buffs that you're getting in response. A good substitute could be the commando foregrip, because I did use that until I unlocked the Ranger foregrip, since it's only unlocked so far down the line in regards to the 5.56. For numero quattro, we got the almighty tac laser, which I use on almost all of my weapons. The reason being that it not only gives you a boost in ADS speed, aiming stability, and strafing steadiness, all of this only comes at the cost of enemies being able to see your green beam when you aim down sights. And 9 times out of 10, enemies aren't going to notice this unless they're already hard peeking a corner, which means they're going to see you regardless. or you're mounted up trying to get kills, in which case, just swap it out for a different attachment. but in most scenarios, using this attachment is probably the most beneficial because you're getting an insane amount of buffs with virtually no cost. Also, this is much better than the 5MW laser because the tac laser is only visible when you aim down sights versus the tac laser, which is visible at all times. If you haven't shown the tac laser some love yet, please do so, and I promise that you will not be disappointed. Ever since I unlocked this attachment on like my first gun, I think it was the Kilo, I've basically been using it on everything ever since. And with that being said, I always save the best for last, and the attachment that really honestly made the most difference for me is gonna actually be the reflex sight, or to be more specific, the GI mini reflex sight. The reason for this is trying to track and shoot enemies from afar with just the default, iron sights on the FAMAS, 5.56, really isn't that good because it's more like a little metal pin. It's like you're trying to kill people with a little needle while they're 50 meters away. It's just really strenuous. But when I equipped the GI mini reflex sight, I really noticed, an increase in my overall accuracy with this weapon, and as a result, I also noticed, my confidence was boosted as well. And it doesn't have to be the GI mini reflex sight. You want to use whichever sight suits you the best, and you don't mind the, aim down sight speed debuff that it gives. But for me personally, I like the GI mini reflex sight because of its minimalistic, design, and the fact that I still get some pretty good peripherals whenever I aim down sights. That way I don't get caught off guard. But with that, guys, covers and breaks down what I feel like is the overall best class setup for the FR 5.56 in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This gun bears an uncanny resemblance to the FAMAS from Black Ops 1, and I'm pretty sure that if it had a fully auto attachment, this gun would probably be top tier in the assault rifle category, albeit if it runs the same way that the FAMAS did in Black Ops 1. Even though it's not fully automatic, the ability to one tap and sometimes two tap enemies from close to medium range is really just insane when you think about it. And there aren't too many burst weapons that I've enjoyed throughout the Call of Duty series, so I'm glad that the FR 5.56 is one of them to date. And it's really good for beginners because it teaches them, the importance of giving your first shot, of tracking enemies, and justly rewards them for landing those shots, because it's going to become, more or less an easy kill compared to something like the P90, which doesn't have like crazy recoil, but you know what I'm saying. It's not as easy to get a kill if you're a complete beginner with the P90 than it is the FAMAS. So as a beginner weapon and for beginner classes, I think the FAMAS, FR 5.56 is a great choice. The only complaint or buff I would suggest them doing for this weapon is I would suggest that they buff the cycling rate for bullets, because it feels like there's just a really long empty space between when I shoot shots. Like it should be like like the AUG H bar from Black Ops 1, the way that can shoot so fast. If you can shoot that fast with the FR 5.56, it would definitely be it'd be way better if you could do just that. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon, because then you don't have to worry about missing out on some of the latest Call of Duty news or a post from this channel. And if you enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, because that really helps me out and lets me know what kind of videos that you guys like to watch. Also, feel free to comment down below what weapon do you want to see next, or just any video ideas that you have in general. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and as always, it's your boy KB, signing off. Peace.